The captain secretly pours a small bottle of vodka into his juice. Seeing no one notice, the captain pours in another bottle of liquor, skillfully tosses the empty bottle into the trash, and then drinks the spiked orange juice in one go. The head flight attendant smells the alcohol but is used to it by now. The only one shocked is the first officer. It's his first time working with the captain, and his face shows disbelief. At this point, the captain, reeking of alcohol, has already passed out. From the head attendant's reaction, it's clear this isn't the captain's first time doing this. Luckily, the flight is smooth and the destination is getting closer. The first officer takes over the controls and starts preparing for descent. Suddenly, the cabin shakes violently. Passengers and crew are startled. Only the captain, just waking up, remains calm. The first officer notices the aircraft's elevator seems to be malfunctioning. The captain calmly instructs the flight attendant to reassure the passengers, but the next moment, the plane suddenly begins to drop sharply. A flight attendant who didn't make it back to her seat is thrown out of the cabin. The first officer desperately pulls the speed brakes, but the plane continues its rapid descent. All passengers in the cabin hold their breath. The captain contacts air traffic control immediately, reporting that they need an emergency landing. But at the current rate of descent, their chances of survival are almost zero. To slow the plane down, the first officer, following the captain's instructions, dumps all the fuel, but the situation doesn't improve. After getting permission from air traffic control, the plane's fuel tanks are jettisoned, but this causes the overhead bins to break open. A flight attendant tries to handle the sudden situation, but the plane's violent shaking knocks her out. The plane is now heading straight for the ground. At this moment, the captain makes a shocking decision. He decides to flip the plane. The first officer is stunned. After telling the head flight attendant to pass on his last words to his son, the captain immediately begins the flip. The cabin begins to tilt, and at this point neither the passengers nor the crew know what's about to happen. With the help of the first officer and the head flight attendant, the captain successfully retracts the landing gear and flips the plane at just 800 meters above the ground. The flight attendant who was knocked out falls onto the plane's ceiling, and a young boy is thrown from his seat due to a loose seatbelt. Seeing this, the flight attendant rushes to the boy's side, using all her strength to get him back to his seat. Although the plane temporarily stops its descent after the flip, the fuel dump causes the plane to lose power and it can't make it to the airport, plus the engines are on fire. With more failures happening, the captain makes another bold decision, to find a place to crash land. The priority now is to restore the plane's normal flight position. However, the flight attendant who was helping the boy didn't make it back to her seat in time and is knocked unconscious. The cabin is in chaos, and the plane's failures are escalating. Fortunately, the plane manages to flip back to a normal position, but now both engines have completely lost power and the plane is gliding. In front of them, a large open field suddenly reveals a church. Despite the captain's efforts to adjust the plane's angle, he watches helplessly as one of the wings slams into the church. At that moment, everyone in the cabin can do nothing but wait for their fate, staring down at the ground as the plane plummets.